the opinions, the perspectives, the words of learners in positive way. So, in democratic approach, scope for voice of learners is there. Then see, in democratic approach, teacher think about all type of students, not only those students who are linguistically and mathematically and logically intelligent. Teacher think about all those students who are of different abilities or having different type or nature of intelligences. In fact, for that what teacher does, teacher serves that content in variety of ways. He doesn't teach in one way or in that straight stereotype way. So, in democratic approach, what happens, variety in learning experiences are injected or are served to learners, and that helps in drawing the attention and maintaining the attention of learners too. In democratic approach, students feel free. They feel that they don't have time to think that it is classroom. They are so busy with the learning that they enjoy learning. They be learning and teacher become part of one same thing. But whereas in autocratic, what happens? Teacher is on different side, learners are on different side. So, in democratic approach, it is not prescriptive one, it is constructive one. It looks like all are learning together, learning environment has been created. It is not one teacher is teaching, rather they feel we all are learning together, we all are creating new knowledge, we all are enjoying, in fact, enjoying learning. So, here students feel free and behave independently because they are not restricted on everything. Now, in democratic approach, there in fact for democratic approach there are various strategies, various techniques, various ways of teaching, but some of them I have suggested over here are that may encourage democratic approach or that may encourage democratic way of learning. One is cooperative learning. What is cooperative learning? Cooperative learning is learning together. Learning together means when there are generally in classroom definitely there are more than one student, and when more than one student means then that can be 2, 5, 10, 50, 100 and so on. If they learn together with the help of each and everyone, they can learn better. So, that is called as cooperative learning. So, teacher can introduce, teacher can create an environment in which teacher creates environment in democratic approach, that is in which cooperative learning takes place. Then collaborative learning. Cooperative and when we talk of collaborative, like there are suppose 3 classrooms and or 3 groups and they have learned different things. Now, they will come together, they will share it, and in that way learning will take place. That becomes collaborative learning. Peer tutoring means their friends will only teach them. What will happen if it is so? Students will be having opportunity to teach to his or her peers. Fine. And that may enhance, because sometimes what happens, students do not raise question in presence of teacher, but when it comes to peer, definitely he or she can raise that question, can raise that doubt, and that can be sorted out in more effective way. More effective way in what sense? Without much hesitation. Certain games can be used when or a democratic teacher use certain games, certain role playing, brainstorming technique he introduces, and discussions he does. And because of all that, what happens? Learner become active, learner become participative, learner become those who construct knowledge, and they start enjoying together. And at the end, what happens? Such type of teacher doesn't get even so tired, even learners do not get so tired at the end of the learning. Rather, maybe they may get enlightened, they may feel fresh after class than what they were before the class. So, to promote democratic approach, teacher has to use various strategies of active learning approach. Now, see, at the end, a teacher See, after after completing these 3-4 points, let me give some tips for better classroom management that can be practiced by each and every teacher or trainee teachers when they are in practice teaching too. See, one is tips for effective classroom management. One is get the attention of every student before beginning the class. Now see what happens when we go in class, we don't know what was the environment in previous class. That environment may be good enough, congenial enough, that may be conducive enough, or may not be again. So if teacher feel that class is not going in, learners are not in mood to learn anything, or they are not attending the attendance of teacher, even they are not they are not diverted toward teacher, they are still busy with certain things. What teacher may do? Teacher may do something that may draw their attention toward teaching learning. Now what to do? Teacher can do many things, like teacher can remain silent in class for some time. Once teacher is silent for few seconds, what will happen? Students will think, what is there, why teacher is silent, and because of that they may again start giving attention in classroom, and then teacher may start teaching learning too. Another thing may be teacher may ask some questions that are very relevant for learners, in which they are very much interested. Again what will happen? If they are not, if students are not in position are in such mood that they are not listening to teacher, what will happen? Now stuff has come in which they are interested, question has come from teacher side of their interest, they may again come to the teacher, I mean they may again join to the teacher, and because of that again teacher may start. So one thing is to get the attention of students before beginning the class. If it is required only when students are not paying attention, or if they have come out of such stage. So one thing is clear, that before starting teaching, what should be there? There should be something should be done, so that students start listening, students start attending. Then now use positive instead of negative language. You know what happens when negative language comes? Students may not remain equally attentive, students may start feeling something bad, their temperament, their feelings, their emotions may get disturbed. So better is use positive language. Like suppose we are supposed to tell them something, we may say be ready tomorrow with all your material. This is one way. Another way is, I hope tomorrow for class we all would be ready with all the things. So in this way, another second approach would be, second way is like more positive than earlier one. So teachers should not use negative language that may distract their attention, that may create something that students may start neglecting teacher, and once students start neglecting teacher, the teacher will lose the love from learner's side. And what will happen? We all know, if someone doesn't love you, then even if what you say is right, what you say is meaningful, but he doesn't respect, or he may not listen you. So teachers should use positive instead of negative language in classroom. Then what happens generally? Students are there, they do some certain things which are really very good, they are worth appreciating. So in that case, what teacher should do? He should praise efforts and achievements of students and give constant feedback, because if feedback has been given, if they have been appreciated, if they are reinforced, they are motivated, they will feel more positive and they will start getting into the business, I mean getting into the learning process. And if we give feedback, they will come to know where they are stand, and no need to give feedback directly. Even sometime teacher may create a situation in which learner may start giving feedback to self, and that may be more effective feedback again. So what teacher should do? Teacher should, number one, teacher should draw the attention of learners in the beginning of the class. Second, he should use positive language in place of negative language. And third, he should reinforce learners, he should reward learners, he should give them constant feedback so that they remain on track and they remain motivated for learning. The next is make your students feel responsible for their own learning environment. When we talk of make your students feel responsible for their own learning environment, it means learners are there, they feel that if they are learning, they are the owner of their learning. Let them get the feeling of ownership. Don't that I have taught you. As a teacher, if you say I have taught you, so you know, if you will go, if as a teacher we go with that approach, learners may not like it. So we should let learners feel that whatever they have learned, it is because of their efforts. Let them feel in that way. Then what will happen? They will remain motivated, they will be in position to think more positive, positive vibes would be there, and because of that they will remain in tune for learning. Now see, we know our class as a teacher, we will never get a homogeneous class. Why won't we get? God has not created human being in such a way that all human beings are homogeneous. Although definitely certain common characteristics are there in all human beings, but generally along with the common characteristics there are some characteristics that are differential, and because of that individual differences are to remain over there. So what teacher should do? Teacher should adjust his own pace of teaching in such a way so that individual differences can be taken care of. Because even if one learner is not learning in the class, to certain extent or to that extent, teacher is not effective. So teacher should try to do things, or teacher should try in such a way that all the students can remain in learning, and for that reason he should understand what the group is, what is the background of learners, what are they need in fact, and accordingly he should teach. So he should adjust his pace of learning with bright learners, with average learners, and with the learners who need some more attention or attention in different way. Then see, once vacuum has come in the class, it will really again become difficult. What will happen? Our mind is such a powerful thing that cannot remain occupied. We might have heard that empty mind does devil work. So how to bring away that devil thinking from the mind? Don't let the mind be empty. So teacher should keep students occupied in their work, then they will not be free for doing some mischiefs. Next is know the students with the help of their parents. Teachers should know about students, that will help in imparting learning experiences to learners too. Then don't let students feel ashamed in front of others. Now see, teacher has his own self concept, likewise students also have their own self concept. We should not insult them in front of others. I say we should not insult them at all, but even if you want, as a teacher, you want to bring them in discipline, you want to say them something that they may feel bad, try to change your words in such a way that they do not feel bad. And even if you are not in position that or if you are forced, you have to say something to student, otherwise you feel that you are not delivering something that is to be, or you are not able to bring change in student, then don't say anything, don't punish the students in present of others. If it has been done, if they feel ashamed, then what will happen? They may become again negative for learning, and more than that for teacher itself. Use interactive ways of teaching learning. Teach in such a way that teacher and student can remain in dialogue continuously. Ask questions to all students. Sometimes teacher asks questions in such a way, they put question in classroom, they float question, and immediately they ask someone to answer it. Don't do like that. Better is float your question, take a pause, and then ask the learner who is not giving attention or who is the least willing to answer. What will happen? Nobody would be in free zone. Everybody has to remain with you as a teacher because they have their own pride, they have their own status, they have their own self concept. They do not want it to be disturbed in classroom, and teacher should be such who should take care of all the students irrespective of their level of intelligence and level of their abilities. And teacher should not be, finally, he should not be biased with any student, and he should add some humor in classroom. But remember, adding humor does not mean any mockery. Adding humor will relieve them, will relax them only. And some more tips are there that we can see, like plan more, be emotionally sound and stable, make rules understandable, keep high expectations from student, and start fresh every day, stay positive and polite. Now see, Mother Teresa has said, kind words can be short and easy to speak, but their echoes are endless. So speak kindly, speak properly, so that students' emotions do not get hurted. And my dear friends, my dear students, the good teacher makes poor students good and a good student superior. And when our students fail, it means teacher too failed to certain extent. So better is behave in such a way that our students can learn more. Thank you very much for your cooperation.
SANDHAN, All Gujarat Integrated Classroom.
સેટેલાઇટના માધ્યમથી જોડતી કડી એટલે સંધાન.